Oh, what a beautiful lineup. G'day guys, welcome back. It's the morning after the night before and I'm still quite sore, but that's alright. We'll get it done. Today, got a wee bit on actually. Right now we're going to go feed the cattle. I know those big ones are going to be a bit hungry. I think the calves will be fine, but we'll take a whole lot up anyway. Those ewams up there on that bank, where are we? You might not be able to see them. Got to hunt them off. They need a drench and a vaccine, and then I've got Amy coming away with the Swedes about 2 o'clock. So yeah, a bit on. So we'll kick into it. Bloody handy contraption this. If it plays ball, what's going on there? There we go. Oh no, it's all tangled. It's all tangled, guys. This might not work too well. Hang on. Got it. Those two linchpins were fighting, but we stopped them. We broke it up. Right, we'll try that again. That. And then on the other side, sorry, I'm going to lean in the road here. That. And that. And then make sure you remember to put the pin back in, because otherwise it'll get untied. Next, you'll see why I did that. See that? That's why. Because those forks kind of mess with the drawbar. Now, that drawbar height, kind of crucial. Make sure it's sitting dead level or below, because otherwise it can shunt that quick hitch up and in the wrong situation cause your tractor to topple over. Anyway, righto guys, we're going to take all these bales up to the cattle. They don't need 6. I'm just going to use the trailer because I'm trying to cut one of those back forks. Yeah. If I put 2 on the back, I only just get clearance off the ground, and then over the trip the bales sag a little bit and we no longer have clearance. Clearance is clearance, touching is not. Yeah, so we'll just take them all up there, leave them up there. Oh, here we go. Not that good of a thing. Don't really want to let the tractor touch the electric fence, because that's not very good for them. Got a little bit more of a grab. There we go, we got it. Will it hold to the trailer? This is the problem when I put those bales there with soft hands. And you want to leave them that way, because they sit better that way. But I borrowed those soft hands and don't have a set of my own. It's okay though. Because I'm not a big fan of round bales. You know that, I like the squares. A little bit further over, there we go, that should be good. Holes don't matter because they're going to get fed out in the next, hopefully, day, most of them. Oh, there's only 5 there. No, there's 6, there's still 5 sitting there now. Yeah, they're not going to go mouldy in 3 or 4 days, so that'll be fine. Right, we'll hit this one a little bit harder, eh? There we go, that's a bit nicer. Don't tangle, thank you. Oh, you don't do that. Yeah, it's not bad. Good as gold. Now, one of many really annoying things about round bales, or about individual bales, I should probably say, is the tails. Which are all these things that form as the bales sit over time. And then you go drive up the road and they fly everywhere and they get caught under wheels and then they lie on the roadside if you don't pull them off. Yeah, quite frustrating. There, much tidier. Now none of them can touch the wheels. Right guys, as I'm sure you can see there, we got another job to do. Because cattle are, oh look, I'm just going to come out and say it. They're put on this planet to annoy us. That's why they taste so good, I think. So they've managed to break a wire. We've got two calves out, as in completely out on the grass. We've got another two in between, and we've got another two that are in with the big ones. Now they can stay there for a couple of days for all I care. They can stay there and they can, well, they're not going to suffer. They're going to have to compete for some food, and then we'll pull them out one day and we'll put them back in with the other ones. But the other ones will have to get back in because I'm not having them on grass. So these last two bales off this trailer. So you might see I opened up two bales there for the calves and only gave them one. I've still got a bit left. And I want them to clean it up because I hate everything there is to have any feeling about when it comes to round bales. Now, hate's a strong word. I don't use it loosely. I hate everything about round bales. I hate how they're round because they roll down hills. I hate how they're individually wrapped because it means so much plastic. And I hate that they have net wrap and it just doesn't work. Whereas twine on, the bale's gonna hold on, yep. Just twine on a square bale is far nicer to deal with. And I have about another 4 or 5 square round bales to go to this big kettle, and that's it. They are all gone. I like to do 10 or 20 every year just to remind myself of that fact. Start a window, plenty of time to muck around with stuff. Well, not really, as I found today. Not going to get those hoggets drenched now. Lambs, hoggets, whichever one I said. But we'll get that done tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, because they've knocked the hose off the trough as well, so now I'm going to have to fix that as well and then get water pumping. And then by the time I've done that, that's about the time it would have taken to drench the hoggets. So I will still hunt them off the paddock they're on. Looks like there might be a bit of grass down there still, actually. We'll see. I'll probably do that. And yeah. yeah, probably do that and then get these Swedes weighed in the afternoon. First two paddocks have already been done. I won't touch on what they weighed yet, but it's good. It's very, very good. Right, so we've got the two out of here. Now, that's right, now I'm going to push that back on. Fix it up in a minute. Now, I'm sure some of you will have seen these before, the old Hayes wire strainer. It's not going to work because we cut the springs off them, but I'll show you. You pull that handle and it comes out of that link, and then it pops into that one, and then it pulls it tighter. Crafty bit of kit. And that is a figure 8 knot, and I'll show you what that looks like when the tension comes off. Right, there we go. So hence the term figure 8 knot. You got over, under, not to be confused with a reef knot, which is tied in a similar fashion but not quite the same. These tails do need cut off. I will get that done next time I'm up here. But anyway, there we go. That's the wire fixed. There's two over there we've got to get out, and then two already out there somewhere, and then yeah, we'll get them all back in. We should be good to go. Right guys, there we go, all fixed up. Just got to pump water now, and I mean they've got water, but I'll just fill that tank up and yeah, all fixed. Well guys, the other day, it's now, what day was it we were talking? We crutched on Thursday, so that must have been Friday. It's now Monday. So Friday, yeah, we never got this job done because we had to break up the calves. We got that sorted, you saw that, I think. We didn't run out of battery before that. The goal for the afternoon was to get the last of the Swedes weighed, and the rep turned up. It's so bad for them. They had everything except the scales. Yeah, kind of an important part, and I couldn't find my scales either. So anyway, we've rescheduled that for Wednesday, 2 days from today. So we might as well jump back into it. We're going to get these ewe lambs drenched and jagged, and I'm not sure how much of that you'll see, because I'm running out of battery. Again, I know, disorganised. But I've got about an hour before lunch, so we'll do that, and yeah, then we will do the rest after lunch, hopefully with a full battery. Now, out here today, the frost is finally gone. It's kind of raining under the roof a little bit, because yesterday morning we had like a -5 degree frost. And this morning it was -2.3 or something when we got up, about 6:30, but I know at night, because I didn't go to bed till about 10:30 last night, it was 5.3 when I went to bed. So it did get cold overnight, but when we woke up, it wasn't quite so bad. You can see the ice still out there where the sun doesn't get to, so you can see the steam coming off the sheep. It's been cold, but we do like that, because actually frosts are good. Frosts mean no feed waste. Sheep seem to be happy in frosty weather. You see the rain coming down. As long as they've got a little bit of wool on their backs, which these all do. Yeah, frosts aren't bad. And they're fresh. It's cold, but it's not like going out in 3 or 4 degrees and blowing and snowing or raining or anything like that. So yeah, we will take it while it's here, because it is winter and frosts are better than wet. probably should have done these 2 races first, right? It's always the old logic, the end of the job, you wish you'd done the last race first, but obviously then it wouldn't be the last race. Anyway, haven't actually been through you guys this year what drenching actually is, so we'll have a look at that. So we drench for intestinal worms, internal parasites that sap the life out of sheep. Just a very small amount of fluid we put in there. Now I'll see if I can actually get one here. Where are we? Here you go, here you go. Might try doing that. So just grab the sheep, this here. It's the only time of your life you're allowed to be limp wristed is when you're putting this in the mouth of the sheep. Got to be very firm on squeezing it, but very limp in, like that. So you can't have any pressure. So if you happen to hit the throat, you don't scratch them. It's got a nice rounded end on it, because the drench does have selenium in it, and selenium is very essential to sheep. Sorry guys, but at the same time, in large quantities, very toxic. So you've got to be very careful with that. It's nice and easy the whole way through. And the next thing we're doing is the old vaccinating. So this is just a 5-in-1. It does, not even say on the packet what it does. I cannot remember, but it's all the clostridial things like pulpy kidney and blackleg and things like that. Just the basic sheep diseases. Very cheap, very effective. Requires an annual booster. That works well with that pre-lamb vaccinating program, because some of that immunity goes into the colostrum, and then when the lamb takes its first drink, provided you give them the jab, I think it's 2 weeks before the colostrum's finished forming. I think. There's lots of different theories, but I think that's currently the right one. Yeah, some of that immunity will follow through. When the lamb gets its first few drinks, it takes in some of that immunity. So anyway, we literally just go, good girl, back up, back up. Change the needle every sort of 2 races. Oops, that one didn't go in. Right, there we go, now it did. Come on you, come back here. Up you come, up, you're not a rabbit. You're not a rabbit. There we go. Right guys, that is that job done. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be on my own. So yeah, this stuff, like I say, good stuff, pretty easy going. They get 2 mils, they got it 6 weeks ago. Best case scenario apparently is 4 weeks apart, 28 days, but 27 days is not enough. And I've been told you've got up to 4 months to do it, but it's sort of, I don't know how exact of a science that it is. Supposedly the response goes way up high and then starts tailing off, and when you give them the second booster it sort of spikes up again and stays there. That's what I've been told. I could well be wrong. Please do correct me if I am. Yeah, so apparently going too soon is the worst thing you can do. Now on this stuff, drench, so I mean we've got a word there, don't need to worry about their brand, that is their product. But we've used the same product from 2 different companies this year. Both seem to have been very effective. Look, drench resistance is becoming an issue. Sorry, I can't, yeah, there. Just the screen goes black and then I need to actually be able to see to make sure you're looking at me. You don't want to be looking at me, I know. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Yeah, so drench resistance is a big issue. Well, it's becoming a bigger issue. It's a bigger issue in the North Island because they have worms we don't have. And they've got all sorts of issues we don't have. They don't have a winter. I mean, the whole north, not the whole of the North Island, where our rams come from actually has a pretty harsh winter, but most of the North Island is called the winterless north for a reason. Hell, even the top of the South Island is the winterless north in theory. Yeah, there's 2 things at play. One is over drenching and one is under drenching, and both are crucially important to avoid. And you sit there and go, shit, that sounds really complicated. So does that mean you've got to give everything the exact right amount? Well, not really, because they're 2 totally different things. You see, under drenching is the dose rate you're giving the animal, and the worst thing you can do for drench resistance is underdose. Now I don't doubt that there's a margin of error built in there when they say this stuff is 1 mil per 10 kgs. The stuff we used to use was 1 mil per 5. yeah, I'm sure there's a margin of error built in there, but that doesn't matter. I'm not going to take the risk. So these girls I've drenched to 65 kilos. Now the heaviest in here I would expect to be over 60, but I would not expect to be over 65. So that's under drenching. Let's say I'd gone to 5.5 mils, 1 mil per 10 kgs. Some of these would not have got enough. Some of those worms in the gut will not get exposed to enough chemical to kill them, and they build resistance, and then they breed resistant animals or animal worms with a degree of resistance to that drench type, and so on and so forth. Over drenching is nothing to do with the amount you're giving them in each shot. It is actually the frequency with which you're drenching. Now the reason these girls are 6 weeks between jabs is because they're also 6 weeks between drenches. Most of their drenches have been 6 weeks apart. I think I did them early March and I did them early April. We're now late May, and what are we today? 21st today, I think. Yeah, so they were done like the 3rd of April. I'd have to have a look in the record, but I think it was the 3rd, so we're now the 20th. So what's that? That's 17 days plus 30, so that's 47 days. That's a wee way. Yeah. Yeah, so the frequency with which you drench is what we're talking about when we're talking about over drenching. And some guys will still drench at 3 weeks. I suspect some people possibly have a need to in certain scenarios, but the vast majority don't. We try to work with the work slams on the 28-day cycle, because that's 21-day life cycle of the worm with 7 days for the egg to hatch and some larvae to be swimming around or whatever in the gut, and then you go and kill them. That theory probably does work pretty well. It's what we aim to do. We almost never go less than 28 days. Sometimes it might be 27, just depends. Like if you've got to get away on holiday, then you've got to get away on holiday, right? But normally we would aim to be 28 plus, just to extend that frequency. Now someone might say that's a bad thing for resistance. I don't know, I don't think it is. I've actually got a Wormwise field day being held here on the 12th of June that I'd only just remembered about. So I need to get this place all cleaned up. Yeah, because it's going to be held here. So yeah, that's a wee bit on that. Just one last thing on the drench that's really got me annoyed. A major player in the sheep drench space pulled out a couple of years ago, and ever since then, so we used to buy a plain drench. Now when I say a plain drench, I mean a drench that has no minerals in it at all, or no added minerals. And then we used to add our own minerals. I don't mind giving this company a plug because it was an amazing product. Livestock Supplies used to make a thing called PPD, Peak Performance Drench, and it was awesome. So we used to mix that. How did it work? We would give them a full dose at weaning. We would miss the next drench in January, and then we would give them a half dose of the mineral with the full dose of the drench. So they always got a full dose of drench, of worm drench. I don't think they can build resistance to minerals. Yeah, and that kept them going throughout the season. Now it had a heap of stuff in it. Our high-min drenches, high mineral level drenches, have a good whack of selenium in them and something else, and I think that's it. Now, the selenium is good because the selenium is needed. The level of selenium that's in them, to my understanding, means you cannot do anything else with selenium in it, because you'll overdose them and they'll die, which is not what we want. Yeah, so I guess what I'm getting at is it would be really nice if the drench companies could either be a bit more meaningful with the minerals they put on their drenches, or they could just remove them completely and give us the option to use our own mineral mixes from, obviously not our own, from companies that make a certified product. But yeah, because we're currently in a situation, sorry guys, this is a little bit of a rant. Last year, these ewe-lambs, so these ewe-lambs are looking quite good. I'm quite happy with these girls. Last year's ones weren't looking too bad, but you remember last year we did have quite a hard season. Right through till, I think we got rain late February, early March, doesn't matter. We had a horribly dry season early on, and that did follow through on lamb weights. And the ewe-lambs, well, they were good, they weren't this level of good. We got to early June. I can't remember whether I said this on a video or not, but they started dying. When I say dying, like, you know, you get 2 or 3 a day, and then you get nothing for 3 or 4 days, and then you get another 2 or 3, and then you get nothing for another 3 or 4 days, and then you start getting 1 or 2 a day. And it was viral pneumonia. And the cure, coming from the vet, for viral pneumonia was a product called Liquid Sunshine from them, which is the old Vet AD&E, which is a mineral drench, ironically. The reason we'd never seen that before was because we always used to use so much PPD. And of course last year we stopped using it because the selenium crossover between the drenches, not wanting to kill anything. Obviously that would be a disaster both economically and mentally. Everything, that would just be horrible. But yeah, it's just annoying because I really wanted to give them that second dose today. We gave them 2 doses of it last year, problem just disappeared, just stopped. With a worm drench the first time. No, we didn't. Last time they advised us to give them a double dose because we hadn't used any other minerals, and I think we still had some plain drench left, like a little bit. I can't remember, it's in the book. Either way, I remember giving them 3 mils because I remember the vet saying, just, it'll be okay for this time, but outside of that, stick within the limits of what it says in the book. So in April, we gave them 1.5 mils of that stuff, and I'd really like to have given it to them now, but it's 8 weeks between, and we've only been 6 weeks, so I'm just a bit nervous about doing it. Yeah, so we will have to give these another drench in 2 to 4 weeks, but we'll just see. If it's 2 weeks, it'll just be, I don't know if we can do that actually, I'd have to have a look. Hang on. Can this gun, hang on, I'll have a wee look. No, so those guns only go down to 2 mils. So I would have to actually see if it's okay to mix it with water and add 1 part water to 3 parts of that drench, which is just getting into stuff I don't want to do. So maybe we give them a month, because they're going to be going on Swedes in a couple of weeks. I'd say possibly less than a couple of weeks if we get them dipped this week. Yeah, this is a really long rant, sorry guys. Yeah, so actually it might just be that a month from now they come off Swedes and we give them another drench and we give them a mineral drench as well, because I don't want to use the worm drench because I don't want to use it if we don't need to, and theoretically these girls would be fine without it. I would suggest getting drenched now and then going on crop. There's virtually no worms on crop, so you know, they get a fresh break every 4 days, and they're not really shitting on what they're eating, so they're very, very low return of worms. But I really want to give them minerals because I don't want them to die. So if companies would just put meaningful minerals in, or just not put minerals in so we could use another product, it would be awesome, thank you. This probably won't get to them, but hey, we'll find out. Righto guys, I'm gonna go put a fence up and then we'll come back and we will let these guys go to that paddock right there. Now guys, this fence is for the hoggets, so it has to be absolutely perfect. I'm just putting you somewhere you can see what I'm doing. That top wire is electric. Why does this fence have to be perfect? Because these ewe-lambs, hoggets, ewe-lambs, we're going to start calling them hoggets very shortly, have never seen an electric fence before. So, yeah, needs to be done right. Now, that wire is still turned on, and I don't have my tester with me to turn it off. So we'll go the old school way. Cross our fingers we don't get a shock. No. That's good. Make sure we don't touch anything. Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking because There's at least 9,000 volts on that fence. My tester tells me a lot more, but I think they read a little bit high. Anyway, there we go. That fence is now hot. Jump over it without getting a shock. So I reckon if I put that camera on there, it would go all funny. Not the straightest fence in the world, but it will do. It will do the job for this. We've got 3 hot wires. Normally we'd only run 2. Normally because there's too much grass around or too many Swedes more than anything. But for this, so this one I've just fenced off this tiny little corner here. Like I say, they've never seen this fence before, so the idea is they've got 4 hectares or 4.3 hectares, and here's 0.1 fenced off, maybe 0.2, I don't know, is what it is. So we're not trying to fence the paddock in half right now, so they don't have, they're not putting a huge amount of pressure on the fence, but there's enough fence there that I'm sure they'll all try to get through there, especially after a day in here, because they'll hopefully eat this grass, but they'll probably just muddy it up. They'll eat some of it, and then they'll want to get through there where it's nice and green, so they'll put pressure on the fence, and the hope is that they all get an electric shock. Just 1, maybe 2, and they'll work out what causes it, and then after that, they'll probably never touch it again. Well, no, some of them will. Some of them will test it every hour, because that's just in their nature, but yeah. So, do this. After they finish this paddock, I won't even graze that wee bit. Let them realise that that fence means business. The next paddock they go to, we'll make it a reasonable size one, but we'll split it in half, and then we'll give them half, and then we'll open it up like 3 standards worth to shift them, so they know they've got a big area to run around. Because that can be another problem after they learn what a fence is, teaching them to run through it or run around the end of it. Yeah, and they need to learn that. So it's all a learning curve for them, but it seems to have worked every other year. So fingers crossed it does this year. Whee! Run, you girls. No, I mean it, run. Be a lot easier. They're running there. Yeah, we're not going to see much action here. Ooh, maybe up there. No, I think everywhere I go to look, guys, they're just going to move away from the fence. So I think we'll call that there. I will show you, maybe right at the end of this video, maybe just after this, I'll show you tomorrow morning. See if there's anything through. If there is, there is. If there's not, there's not. Hey, either way, there won't be many. As long as the fence isn't destroyed, we'll be good. So I think we'll call that there, guys. So what have we covered in that one? Cattle, a whole lot of stuff that didn't happen, and then we made some of it happen 3 days later. We've got the ewe lambs drenched and vaccinated, and yeah, good talk about drench. So catch you later, guys.